I'm in sound and I saw Peter Pan and Wendy. It is directed by David Lowery, more like David's really low in my rating of movie. I'll talk more about that at the end of this review. This was requested by a Patreon. If you'd like to fast track a movie review, you can do that at patreon.com/ASEPresents. Spoilers ahead if you haven't seen this monstrosity of a movie. Oh boy, I'll get more into that right now. The movie starts with the most bland thing I've ever seen. What is going on with these colors, man? They're so muted, they're so dark, and all the lights are like even not bright. How are the lights not bright? Also, Wendy is like, oh, I'm gonna have a nice little sword fight with my brothers, and then I get caught and then I get in trouble. And it's like, oh no, I don't remember this from the first one at all. Yikes. It just seems stiff. Also, Wendy's like, I don't want to have your line. Mother, I don't want it. And then Peter Pan comes, and I'm like, who is he from? He looks very familiar. I can't really place his name. He's in all green, and I'm like, oh, it's Link. I'd much rather play the new Zelda than watch this movie, but yet I had to. I watched this movie, and guess what? It's so bland. We see a weird CGI Tinkerbell blowing some pixie dust, which is probably a crime. I'm no law. Like David Lahr. But anyway, what's interesting about this is Wendy starts to fly, Peter Pan is flying, all these kids are flying, and they're going to Neverland. And I'm like, why is it called Neverland? Because there's never people landing here? Are you never supposed to land here? Is there more deeper meaning to that? Someone please tell me. Well, anyway, I remember this cartoon that it's based on, the animation, the original animation that it's based on, to be much more vibrant and colorful than this, and including the freaking parrot. Doesn't Hook have a parrot in the first one? I might be thinking of another animal. I mean, another pirates. But I thought he does have like a cool parrot, so it kind of confuses me that he doesn't. Also, he's the worst guy ever. This lame attempt at humor of Captain Hook. No door for this ship, and this is the third door that he's gone through. And I'm like, why do you keep doing this, Captain Hook? This isn't efficient at all. I'm not enjoying this. Seems like Captain Hook and Peter Pan's have some sort of history or whatever. It's weird that they're just like totally okay with like a weird rivalry, which I guess is perpetuated by Captain Hook, because towards the end, we have Captain Hook and Peter Pan. I don't care about the children getting kidnapped and all that stuff. It's tension building. Whoa, the brothers are kidnapped. They have to go save them. Oh my goodness. Wow, Peter Pan's not here, but he is here. What an ex machina. Wow, what great timing he is here for. And I don't care about that. That part sucked. It was all predictable, and I'm like, oh, he's here? Oh yeah, okay, he's here, cool. The beats were like, beat per beat were very much predictable, because it's like, oh, this is literally the obvious answer, and yes, it is. And it's slower, and it's less fantastical, less cool, and more sing-songy than, like, the animation. I also really don't care about Peter Pan and Captain Hook. They were previously friends, and then we have Peter Pan is like, I'm sorry, and Captain Hook is like, oh, I'm gonna perpetuate this fight because I hate you even though you apologized to me. And it's like, dude, why are you doing that? But he is. Why is he doing that? Why? Why does he have to just fight him? And then he gets the sense knocked back into him, and then they are friends, and apparently their beef is over Captain Hook leaving Neverland. Why is that a beef? Why do you care so much? Be like happy for him that he's like, he wants to leave somewhere and then he came back evil? What does evil mean? What does he did? What did he do before going to Neverland in order to be called evil? What? This isn't black and white morality tale. No, morals are very well, I don't know. I'm not a morality police over here. I just know that, like, you gotta have something, you have to have some incident to occur in order for you to have, like, a skewed perspective on the entire world in Neverland. And this movie doesn't show me that at all. It's bad. Also, I really hate when they cut back to flashbacks because it's jarring and it's annoying. And it's also like, oh my goodness, you can tell it's a happy flashback because of the orange tones and the white lighting that they're using versus the blue tones and the white lighting that they're using because that means it's sad. You know, stuff like that. I'm not a fan of this movie at all. I don't really remember much of the Peter Pan. Also, speaking of Peter Pan, the reason why Peter Pan is hanging around this freaking apartment building is because he used to live there, and then he starts stalking the mates that are there now, and plus he's also weirdly interested in this family because they're also talking about him constantly, because apparently his fairy tale is not read very much except for by this mother who reads it all the time. I'm like, why do you change your fairy tales? There are much cooler ones than freaking Peter Pan, okay? What about, like, Sonic the Hedgehog, the fairy tale? Once upon a time, there was a blue hedgehog. He was running around in a bunch of green hills. One day, a big old fox boy with two tails, he's like, oh, you're not allowed to run no more. And Sonic's like, what? Why? And this orange fox is like, hey, I'm actually named Tails. You see my two tails? You're supposed to fly. And Sonic's like, I can't fly. And so, because of this, Tails starts whacking him, Sonic with his tails. And then, because of this, Sonic goes really fast, but Tails can really catch up. And he's still whacking him with his hands while he's flying. And then you know what happens? Sonic falls down by accident off a cliff, lands into the ocean. Actually, there's no water there. This is the void now. There's the void, you know, the Minecraft void where you're like, oh, there's no floor, boom, you plummet to your death. That's what happened to Sonic, and then Tail reigns today. What was the lesson in that? Don't run off cliffs. That's the tale, that's the fairy tale that has more of a meaning than Peter Pan. Why does this movie exist? You know, I think I could make a better Peter Pan movie with just using the Sonic characters. I don't care if I get sued by Sega. I'm Disney Buddy by my hand. Bam! Let me use the rights to Sonic, please. Alright, thank you. Well, anyway, entertaining myself with a nice little Sonic the Hedgehog story aside, I was not entertained by this movie. I felt really let down by the ending. The ending was really like, hey, we're all a family now. We have a nice little feast here. We're having a nice little family time. And it's like, great. Also, what's really interesting, there's a bunch of kids who are like, we're never leaving Neverland. And then they go with Peter Pan to the house of Emily and her brothers, and then they stay at this house while Peter Pan takes the ghost ship. And then Peter Pan is like waving or being weird and strong while we have a nice, the very fun meme of, I would consider the whites behind Peter Pan, a lot of lens flare to be the ultra Chad Peter Pan, and then we have the loser virgin Captain Hook in water with the little black vignette around him. That was very fun. I was like, oh my goodness, this psychological good versus bad is not very subtle, Disney, thanks. This movie was not creative at all. Bad. I don't care about any of the characters. I don't care about anybody in this movie. I wish they all never landed in Neverland. Bad, bad. Also, the child actors suck. They're terrible. They're okay, I guess, for child actors, but they suck. They're awful. I hate this movie. This movie gets a 4 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one. YouTuber who likes that, you can also like, comment, subscribe, share this video with everyone you know. The ultimate goal of this channel is for me to become an expert movie reviewer, so if I haven't reviewed it on the channel, there's a chance I haven't even seen it at all. If you'd like to request a movie in the comments below, you can do that, or you can fast track a movie review at patreon.com/ASEPresents for $20 a month for one movie review per 1 month. $3 a month, how to draw Pokemon tutorials, all at patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if you'd like to help support the daily grindiness of all these daily movie reviews, then go to this link tree to find the way that you can help support the daily grind of all these daily movie reviews. So go here. And until next time, I'm Mint Salad Saw. I'll see you later, my Salad Cruisons making bits.